Hi everyone, welcome back. This is Nikki, parenting and relationship life coach. Today I want to discuss with you people with narcissistic personalities and dating someone who has a narcissistic tendency, not necessarily diagnosable, but someone that definitely falls under that category, that very pervasive umbrella of the narcissistic personality. So let's just jump in and get started. There are 7 or 8 definite characteristics that you need to qualify or to have in order to qualify as someone that has a narcissistic personality disorder. But definitely, I can probably list off 25 or even 30 different characteristic traits that people in relationships where they're tending to be much more narcissistic have. Today, I'll go over 8 or 9 that are, I think, very pervasive and very evident with most people. The first one is lacking empathy. If you are in a relationship with someone that has very little to no empathy, meaning they cannot put themselves in your situation, even if you sit and explain, sometimes for a lot of us, it's hard to put ourselves in the other's shoe, walk in their shoes. But when they sit us down and we see that our partner is upset and they explain to us what they're talking about, we can definitely understand, and we are now able to put ourselves in their shoes. People with narcissistic personalities simply cannot. They cannot feel you, they cannot understand you most of the time, and frankly, they don't even really care to. Another really important point with people with narcissistic personalities is that they are so grandiose. Grandiosity, feeling that they're so much better than everyone, that they deserve to be taken care of, that they deserve to be treated in a way that no one else does, just because they have this grandiose sense of self, which is actually mostly covering up for how horrible they are feeling inside about themselves. Another element is feeling entitled. People with narcissistic personalities, or we can shorten it to narcs, definitely feel entitled. They deserve to have things that others don't. They deserve to have things even though they haven't worked for it. So that sense of entitlement is there, and they constantly need to be admired and validated, not just by their partner, but everyone around them. You may have seen even a narcissistic boss that, is constantly, he might take points from one of his employees, something that an employee mentioned, something that an employee came up with, and take it as their own and pretend that it's their own and get validation for that. Also, another thing that they have is that they are so hypersensitive. They have no empathy for others. They can't feel how much their actions and the things that they've said has upset you. However, if you give them the slightest criticism, if you mention one of their flaws, they will almost fall. They cannot handle it. They will have a temper tantrum. They will belittle you. They will put you down because they just cannot handle that. And that also takes them on to the next point, which is most of them are extremely rageful. Now, there might be some rage in certain relationships where it's coming from your childhood. You had a very up and down childhood, very traumatic childhood, a horrible childhood. And, some of us might have a lot of that anger within us, but this is just totally different. When they are feeling criticized, they go into this extreme rage that when you're looking at, you left crumbs in the toaster, or you left your cup of milk after drinking it on the counter and forgot to take it to the sink. Just the smallest things, or you criticize them the tiniest bit. It might even not have been a criticism. You might say, honey, we're going to a wedding. Can you put on the navy tie instead of the gray tie that you have on? And they perceive that you're criticizing them, telling them they don't look good enough, which sets them into that extreme rage. And they also have a huge tendency to manipulate and exploit people. Most of the relationships that they enter are just based on manipulations, convenience. What does this person have that's going to benefit me more in my life? And they enter that relationship based on what they think that they're going to be able to get from you. So the manipulation and exploitation is very, very key. And they are usually dishonest people, unfaithful in relationships, and also tend to be very, very controlling. They will control every aspect of your life. And when you bring it up to them, first of all, you will never be able to control them. But when you bring it up to them, they think it's completely normal, and they don't even understand, why you're upset about any of this. So as you can see, it's very, very challenging, difficult, and upsetting, to say the least, to be in a relationship, especially an intimate relationship with someone, with a narcissistic person. So you might be asking, why would anyone put themselves in that? Why would anyone be in such a relationship? Well, there are the 3 C's. People with narcissistic personalities can be extremely seductive because of the 3 C's. Charm, charisma, and confidence. In the beginning, and especially to people outside of their circle, narcissistic people come off as very charming. They have a certain, just a certain charisma to them. They're amazing public speakers. They hold themselves to a higher standard, and definitely superficiality is one of the things. They care so much about how they look like, what their partner, their children, everyone has to be perfect. So in the beginning, it's very, very seductive that they're confident, overly confident, but that confidence is completely fake. That's why their ego is able to be shattered so easily, because it is such a fake confidence that they portray just to hide how horrible they feel internally. I really hope you guys enjoyed this segment. Those are some of the points that I definitely wanted to get through. And stay tuned, because we're going to do a part 2 for this segment. And I have something very, very important talking about the abusers. No, the narcs are the abusers, but the actual abused victims. And those are the people who are in the relationship with the narcs. We're going to go over that, and I have some very important things to tell you. I hope you guys enjoyed the segment. As always, if you did, please like it, share it with your friends. I love to teach you more. And definitely, if you have questions, send me a direct. It's all private, and only I see your directs. Until next time, stay safe.
Togetherness Media. Togethernessmedia.com.